Hi, everybody. This is Israel Silva. Just wanted to say hello. Welcome to the Increase Your Income Challenge. And that's what we're trying to do, help you increase your income. And we're in week 8. This is lesson 8, but we're actually in week 10 because we've been working through some of the different lessons. And we're talking about celebrating the victory. And what I'd like to ask you a question was, when was the last celebration you attended, and why did you attend? I got a picture here. This is actually my little boy celebrating 7 years of age. And, why do we attend? Why do we celebrate? Well, you celebrate the milestones. And I think that's one of the things we want to talk about is how we get from where we are today to where we want to be. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes some planning. It takes some visualization, and that's what we're going to talk about on our business. So yeah, that little boy is now 7 years old, and I can remember when he was just 4 pounds and I could carry him in one hand, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. But there's so much fun when it comes to celebrating. As usual, this is the challenge, and the challenge has a couple of rules here that we talk about: content, community, and the challenge game format. Track our progress, help each other, and then celebrate the victories. And that's really what we're talking about today, is celebrating the victories. So today you're going to learn the power of victory celebration, and when it comes to planning, implementing, and impacting. Planning, implementing, and impacting. And when we do this celebration, when we visualize our celebration, that's when we start to go, this is why this keeps me going. And we know that if you're an entrepreneur trying to start a business, trying to improve your business, or you're an employee trying to grow your career and go to the next level, those are some things that we need to have. We have to visualize those things. So part of that is the power of the victories is planning. And you have to understand why. It goes back to, why do we want to celebrate? Why do we want to set this up? And I'm going to constantly refer back to my son, because we had a recent 7th-year-old birthday party. And why do you celebrate birthdays? That's one of the things you might ask. Some people don't celebrate birthdays. They don't even want to know they're getting older. I tell people often I stopped celebrating at 38. And so that's how old I am, plus a few. But the thing is, you celebrate because you want to recognize where you've been to where you are now. Now, there's two ways of looking at things. You can look at, I'm not where I want to be, and be disappointed. Or you can look at where I've started from and where I am now today. I'm wiser. I've learned lessons. I've made improvements. And that's the two different perspectives you can have, is from where you've improved from to where you're going. And you celebrate where you've achieved, what you've achieved so far, and then you plan out what you're going to achieve. And so planning is so important, because you start to go, why am I going to plan this? Why do we plan a 7-year-old birthday party? Because we want our son, who's turned 7, to realize, hey, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm getting better, I'm getting bigger, I'm maturing, I'm taking on more responsibility. And in the same way with your business, why would you celebrate? Well, why don't you set some goals? Celebrate at $1,000. If you're starting off, you might celebrate the first time you get a customer who's paying for you. And then you celebrate, hey, $10,000 in revenue. And then you celebrate $100,000 in revenue. And how we celebrate profitability, $10,000 a month in profitable net profits per month. You set these goals and you celebrate. Because the thing is, it is hard when you're starting off. If you're in college and you're like, I'm starting college, that first freshman year where you're leaving home and you're on your own, it is really hard to shift. I'm doing my own laundry. I'm making my own food. And so planning is important. Like, I'm going to plan out and see that I will graduate from college, that I will get this career started, or even start this business. So the why of the celebration is, it's the fuel to your fire. It's what we all look forward to. It keeps us driven and motivated. And when times are tough and when things are hard and there's challenges and there's all these things that you're not meeting your expectations, it's that why of celebrating that'll keep you going. And that's part of the planning. You plan your victory, plan it on what milestone you're going to celebrate. And then number two is you visualize the results. And I call this like the first creation, is because you create it in your mind. Like, I'm going to see myself reaching that goal. And Walt Disney, they said, oh, he never got to see Disney World. Well, he got to see it first creation. He got to see it in his mind. And that's what we have to do. Visualize the results that we want to see. And there's power in that. I used to always tell people when I was a freshman in college, we had all these papers that were due, and you had to write these papers. And I would, of course, wait till the last week, and I would just go, I would visualize seeing myself finish it, seeing myself read it, seeing myself look at all the different portions of it, and it flowed and it read well, and I just felt good. By seeing that. And now the thing was, when I visualized seeing how I would feel, now it was just a matter of doing the things needed to reach that milestone. So visualizing the results is going to be very important. That creative visualization, it's often said, it's like your mind will adjust. If I tell you to close your eyes and imagine a yellow lemon right in your hands, and then taking the knife, put the lemon down and putting it on a cutting board and just cutting it, that lemon, and then squeezing it right near your nose, smelling the lemon flavor. And I'm already getting like saliva coming out of my mouth because lemonade time. I just created something, and your mind doesn't know that. Your mind doesn't know the difference. It's visualized it into your mind. It's already starting to get, water. You're getting your mouth watering. And it's the same thing when people talk about food. Oh, you're getting me hungry, because your mind can visualize that, and it can already start to feel that. That's why I always think I'm 38. Okay, I really want to be 28, but I'm okay with being 38. And I feel like that. And so I visualize that and seeing myself doing something great. And it's the same thing with, visualizing results. I want, in my community that I'm building, Financial Champion Academy, I want to visualize seeing myself helping thousands and 10,000s of business owners, of individuals who want to take their career and their finances to the next level. That's what I want to do. So I visualize that, and I start to see the results that by so many, like a quarter, like 3 months from now, 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now, starting to visualize and plan those results and the party I'm going to have. How am I doing that? What am I going to do? Who am I going to celebrate with? So that is the planning part of it, and why it's so important to start looking towards the future. Now, the implementing part of it, once you have in your mind what you're going to celebrate, like you're going to celebrate maybe the revenues for your business, or you're going to celebrate getting the promotion to a new job, or graduating college and having that interview and getting the job the first time, whatever it is, you start implementing it by aligning your goals and your activities. Throughout this challenge, we've been talking about setting goals, having a vision, setting goals, and getting your activities. And they all have to be in alignment. That means that whatever you're shooting for, whatever you're aiming for, you have to evaluate every day the activities you're doing today. Are they in alignment? Are they in line with reaching that goal, reaching that vision? And so sometimes this is how we have to do it. We avoid distractions. We avoid going down the wrong road by focusing back and asking ourselves the question, is this activity going to get me closer to reaching that goal? And then you think about like tomorrow. What am I doing? What am I planning tonight for tomorrow to make sure tomorrow's activities are in alignment with my vision and my goals and that celebration? So that's part of implementing this celebration. When you're planning a party, you have to remember, like if I'm going to plan a party and it's 2 weeks from now or a month from now, what am I have to do? I have to call the venue. I have to get invitations out. I have to start For this party with my son, I actually built a website, and my wife, helped me with some ideas for the invitations, and I created the invitations, and then she got the word out. So we worked in partnership. So in essence, my wife and I were allies trying to achieve this victory celebration. And that's what you have to do in your business or in your career goals. Whatever you're trying to do, who is it that's going to help you? Who is it that you can get to help? Because it's really, really impossible to do everything by yourself. If you're ever going to achieve anything great in your career or in your business, you have to start looking at who you can be allied with. What other partners, what other people, what other businesses, what other systems can put you in alignment to reaching your victory. That is so important, because once you realize that, hey, I cannot do it on my own, that you have to realize I work through people, I work with people. And I even go back on a biblical standpoint. I mean, Jesus Christ, he didn't do it on his own. He had like 12 disciples, and they went out and they spread the word. And again, he was the greatest leader in that sense because he created a movement. You have to do the same thing whenever we're talking about your career. You got to convince people to give you a scholarship, convince your parents that you're serious about your college career. Or if you're already in the business world, you have to convince your manager, supervisor, that you can take on more, that you can do greater things, that you have the skill sets to take on more responsibility. If you're a business owner, that you can achieve and meet the needs and the demands of what the customer needs, thinking about them, considering them, communicating with them, all these things. The activities and the goals have to be in alignment with what you're trying to achieve, your victory. And so that's why it's so important to align those things. And you have to, number two, communicate with your allies. So I worked with my wife on this birthday party. I've worked with other business owners on how to improve my business. Like, what can I do for you? What can my business do for you? And that's really what I've been working on. The whole community of Financial Champion Academy is, how can I help you as a business owner or you as an individual try to achieve your goals? What is it I can do? What content can I do? What challenges can I create? What systems can I put in place? What tools and resources can I bring to you and make you familiar with so that you can achieve your goals? And again, that is allying up. That is getting partnered up with other people. And you need to communicate. So it's a back and forth. Communication is you talk to others, you listen to others. And we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means we need to listen twice of what we speak. And think about it. Like, when you talk to people, first ask them, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? What's your business about? What's your results? What kind of victories are you trying to have? And you listen to them. And then you think, what can I do to help them? And there's this idea of reciprocity, the reciprocity, if I can say that word right. When you reciprocal and you give something to them, it'll come back to you. And that's so important, to think about other people and listening to them. And then when you do listen to them, they'll turn around and go, you've listened to me. What about your business? What are you trying to achieve? And maybe there's something I can help you with. And again, that's communication and creating allies and thinking about others before yourself. And when you do that and you work with other people, you're going to achieve some things you never even imagined. 2 people, 1 + 1 is not equal 2. It equals 3 when you can work in harmony and you can think about the things you can help each other with. So that's why implementing, this celebration. Hey, I want to have this kind of sales. Oh, what do you want to have? You want to have these kind of things as well. Okay. Hey, why don't we work together on a couple of things that will help you and it will help me? So again, it's communicating with your allies. And then you're going to, at the end, in 6 months or in a year or whatever that time period is, you're going to celebrate. You're going to celebrate with your allies. One of the recent celebrations one of the recent allies that I connected with was with the Zoho Corporation. And Zoho I became an affiliate for Zoho. And the reason I did that was because I use Zoho. I've been using them for 10 years plus. and I like their products, and they add so much value to me. And all I can say is thank you to them because they've helped me so much in my business. That one of the ways I felt like thanking them was saying, can I tell people about your business? And I started doing that over and over again. And then I felt like, well, why don't I ask them? They have an affiliate program, so then they give you a commission. I'm transparent about it with people I know, but it's if I help them, they'll turn around and help me. And it's a win-win. It's, iron sharpening iron. It's people helping each other to achieve their goals. So that is the power of implementing and working together to achieve your goals. There's one more thing, and that's impacting. Whenever you go to these parties, whenever you have this celebration and you're actually having it, there's this feeling, and it's usually the hormone. I can't remember which one it was, cytosine, but there's this feeling of you feel connected with others. It's like high five, we did it. My wife and I, we had this party for our son, and we were expecting maybe, we're hoping for like 24 people. And then when it came time to start the party, there was like 15 or 12 people. And we're like, wow, we're going to have a lot of food left over. And I'm over there sending text messages to people and say, hey, let's celebrate together. We really would like to have you. Well, it trickled in. And next thing you know, we had like 36 kids and 25 adults. And we're like, whoa, now it's bigger than we thought. But the thing was, every one of those parents who was celebrating with us on our child's birthday, they were imagining their son or their daughter celebrating their 7th birthday. And the kids who were there with my son, they were having fun celebrating that milestone, that age milestone. And it's something about being in the room. It's something about being part of the celebration and partaking in that and saying, you did it. Great job. You achieved your goals, whether it's increasing your business, taking it to a higher level of revenues, graduating from college, getting the job you've been wanting. That's where, why weddings are such a great thing, because, hey, you met your partner for life. You met that person you're going to spend the rest of your life, and we're going to celebrate the wedding. We're going to celebrate your vows to each other, your partnership. When people have a child, their first child especially, like, oh, we're going to celebrate you having your first child, because it is a milestone in life. And that's what celebrating the victory is about. It's creating really purposeful milestones so that you can work towards it. You can tell others about it. You can say, hey, what are you doing? What milestones do you have? Hey, I have this milestone. And then you go to their party and they go to your party. And we did it together because you helped me. And I think about in history, you had people like Thomas Edison and Firestone and all these guys in Ford. They were friends, and they had these big companies. I mean, Edison had GE, Henry Ford had Ford products, and Firestone, can't remember his first name right now, he had all the tires, and they worked together. They came up with things, and they had masterminds and sessions where they talked about ideas. And that's why it's so important. You can't make yourself an island, but instead you work with people and you celebrate. You get a connection to each person's victory. When you're having your victory, I'm going to be there to celebrate with you. When I'm having a victory, I hope you will come and celebrate with me. And together we just there's this camaraderie of helping people achieve greater things. And the second thing about impacting is the preparation for the next victory. Whenever you climb the mountain and you reach the top, you're like, wow, I did it. This is amazing. You look across and you see what you've accomplished. And you can take rest and relax and say, thank you. Thank God I was able to do this. Thank you, my allies, my friends, my family. And you kind of revel and you take time to really appreciate where you've achieved. But the next moment, the next thing you're doing is like, hey, God, what's my next mountain? What's my next goal? What am I going to achieve next? Who's going to be on with me when I go to that next victory? And you start preparing for the next victory. You start saying, I came this far, I've learned this much, and I can go to the next level. And you keep improving your business. You keep improving your career. You keep looking at how you can increase your income and help others increase their income, how you can serve more people and deliver better service and quality. And so these are the things when you do is you're impacting is you are planning the next victory and looking towards the future. Don't forget what you've achieved so far, but now start looking at what you're going to achieve and start communicating that idea. So these are really 3 great principles of the planning, the implementing, and the impact. When people see you reach your goals, they're going to say, how did you do it? Hey, I followed this process. I worked on creating the vision, creating the goals, getting the activities, getting the allies, defeating the villains, working in this challenge format, doing it over a 12-week period, and then achieving the goals. And that's really what we want you to realize, that this is a challenge. And we're not going to do this overnight. I tell the people in my community, hey, you're part of the challenge. You stepped up. You're working on this. Are you reaching all your goals and activities right now? It may not be happening like in a split second, but you're getting in the mindset that I first need to create the challenge. I need to plan the goals, set the activities, defeat the villains, get my allies together, and then start with my identity. Like, what am I going to believe of myself? My secret identity? What do I need to become to achieve those goals? And the last step here is celebrate the victory. As we celebrate it, we plan that victory, implement that victory, and then we have the impact to us and to those who have worked with us. And so this is the challenge format. And yes, this is our 8th lesson, and we're in week 10. But one of the things I can tell you, I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. My community is growing a lot. And, we're just starting. We are just starting. We're going to continue doing these 12-week challenges. The next one starts in January. And I think that, doing this together, you don't have to be alone. And you can learn from each other. Again, iron sharpens iron, people sharpen people. And that's why this challenge format is so important. I want to always thank Super Better, the book by Dr. Jane McGonigal, because this put it together. Also, the 12-week book, I can't remember, it's called The 12-Week Year. That's another great book that we're using as a tool and a guide. So your action items. Number 1, develop a list of victory celebrations. Choose one to focus on. So develop, let's say I want to celebrate revenue, or I want to celebrate, graduating from college, or I want to celebrate getting the new job. Whatever that is for you, create a list of celebrations and then focus on one. And after you focus on that one, now you have to create the plan for the victory celebration. So that one, you're going to do that one in the next, how long? You put a timeline, think about your audience, and then the reason for the celebration. What's your why? So these are action items. Creating that plan and start working on it. I'm excited to what we're doing in the Financial Champion Academy, and I want to create a celebration for the amount of customers we're going to have, the amount of community members we're going to have. Right now we have a handful, but I know that we are going to add value to more people. I hope that you will consider looking at joining the Financial Champion community. You can learn more at financialchampion.net. And we're going to continue growing this network of people who want business owners and independent professionals who want to grow their finances, grow their businesses, learn to serve people, learn to work together and help each other and challenge each other in a community with a challenge mindset. So again, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you consider joining the Financial Champion Academy at financialchampion.net. We will continue to have more lessons coming, so we'll have our week 11 and week 12 lessons. So subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see the next lesson. Hope to see you at the next lesson.